Hello students, so we are going to study digestive system of frog. Before coming into the details, let's first know what is the purpose of digestive system. Purpose of digestive system is to prepare food so that it get absorbed into blood, and we very well know from blood it fulfill our various metabolic activity needs like reproduction, generation of ATP, or many other function. So this is the purpose of digestive system. In case of frog, this is divided into two main parts. One is alimentary canal, or also known as the digestive tract. It is the portion where food is digested, and second part is digestive gland, which provides important secretions which are helpful in the digestion. Let's discuss in detail. First, alimentary canal. It is a long tube and opens at both ends. Here we can see it is a long tube starting from the mouth and then leading to buccopharyngeal cavity, then esophagus, then stomach, intestine, and then rectum, cloaca, and anus. Important thing to note here is alimentary canal where there are two openings, like two aperture, like one is mouth and another is anus. Such type of alimentary canal is known as the complete alimentary canal. Okay, and in case of frog it is wide at some places while narrow at others. Here we can see, look at the stomach part, it is wider, and look at the esophagus part, it is narrow. What it mean? It means that it doesn't have uniform diameter, plus it shows much coiling in the way. Here we can see, look at the intestinal region, here we can see much coiling, whereas look at the stomach part, it is straight, esophagus is straight. So that means it is not straight completely, it is somewhere coiled, somewhere straight. And different part of alimentary canal include mouth, buccopharyngeal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, rectum, and cloaca. Let's discuss in detail one by one. Coming to the mouth, in case of frog, the position of mouth is terminal. That means it is present at the tip of body. Here we can say head. So it is present at the tip of head and it is very wide. Look at this. It is extending along the complete border of the head. Look at here. Mouth is stretching from here to here. And this large gap help in what? In capturing large prey. So this wide gap is helpful in capturing large prey. And additionally, this mouth is bounded by upper jaw and lower jaw. Difference between upper jaw and lower jaw is upper jaw is immovable, that it can't move. So upper jaw is completely immovable and lower jaw can freely move up and down. So this is the major difference between upper and lower jaw. Another, this mouth is now leading into the buccopharyngeal cavity. Now coming to the buccopharyngeal cavity, it is the space. Here we can see this is buccopharyngeal cavity and this is the space in head. Yes, we can see it's bounded above by the skull. Here we can see bounded above by skull and lower by throat. So this is our buccopharyngeal cavity. It is wider from side to side as mouth was wide, and but it is dorsoventrally it is low. And plus this buccopharyngeal cavity is lined with the ciliated columnar epithelium, which contains abundant mucus glands. That means there must be some lubrications or secretions, as mucus glands are present in the epithelium of this buccopharyngeal cavity. Now anterior part of this buccopharyngeal cavity is known as the buccal cavity, whereas the posterior part of this buccopharyngeal cavity is known as the pharynx. So here we can see from here to here, this is anterior part. Yes, now this is known as the buccal cavity. And posterior part, anterior means toward anterior end and posterior means toward the back side. Okay, so this is pharynx. As such, there is no demarcation between these two parts. That means buccal cavity and pharynx we can't distinguish properly, but yes, there is obviously anterior and posterior part which are making them separate. Now coming to the buccal cavity, as we have studied, now this anterior part of buccopharyngeal cavity is buccal cavity, which include teeth, subrostral fossae, internal nares, bulging of eyeballs, tongue, and prelingual elevation. Let's discuss in details. Coming to the teeth, last slide we have discussed the one major difference between the upper and lower jaw was upper jaw was totally immovable while lower jaw was movable. Now a row of teeth present where? Only on upper jaw. Yes, Maxilla is what? Maxilla is bone which form upper jaw. So teeth are present on the upper jaw, that's why we are calling them the maxillary teeth. If they have present on the lower jaw, it would have been called as the mandibular teeth. Okay, so teeth are only present on the upper jaw while lower jaw is toothless. This is the second major difference between upper and lower jaw. Now besides these maxillary teeth, there are two small patches of teeth which are known as the boomerang teeth. Here we can see, look at this. This is first patch, this is second patch. So these are boomerang teeth. Now type of teeth. What type of teeth are present in the frog? They are homodont, polyphyodont, acrodont. Let's discuss what are they. Homo means same. So homodont means same set of teeth. Let's differentiate how. Like in case of human, we have heterodont, which means we have different sets of teeth. Like we have incisors, canines, premolars, molars. But homodont means there will be same set of teeth. In case of frog, if there are canine, then the all teeth will be canine. If incisors, then they will be incisors only. So this is homodont. In case of human, they are heterodont. Now coming to the polyphyodont. Poly word means many. So polyphyodont means they can be replaced again and again. Let's differentiate from human how. So we have two set of teeth, like milk teeth and then permanent. So our milk teeth get shut down and then shed off, and then permanent teeth come. Okay, so but in case of frog, a set of teeth can replaced again and again and again and again. So such type of teeth are called as the polyphyodont. Next is acrodont. Acrodont means what? They are not deeply rooted. In case of human, we have deeply rooted teeth. So as we have seen, our molars are much deeply rooted. So such type of teeth, like in case of human, they are known as the thecodont. That means deeply rooted. Acrodont means root are not much deep. They are just inserted into the socket. So these type of teeth, homodont, polyphyodont and acrodont teeth are present in case of frog. Besides this, the teeth are small, conical, sharp pointed and backwardly curved. We'll discuss in next slide. Now the important point to be note here, these teeth in case of frog, they are not helpful for the mastication of food. Okay, so, but what they are doing, they are preventing escape of prey. So the sole purpose of teeth is to prevent escape of prey. Coming to the teeth, look at the structure of tooth. It consists of two parts, base and crown. This maxilla is bone which form upper jaw. So as we have studied, the teeth are present only on the upper jaw. Here maxilla. Okay, so this is base. Okay, which is made up of hard material which is known as the cement. So base is formed of material cement. Now this, look at this triangular shape. This is crown. Okay, now crown is also made up of hard substance which is known as the dentine here. Okay, so base was made up of cement and crown is made up of dentine. Now look at the tip of dentine. Here there you can see a covering. This is known as enamel. It's the hardest substance. Okay, in case of human also, enamel is the hardest substance. So it is present on the tip of dentine. And look at here. Now center of tooth contains pulp cavity here. So this pulp cavity contain what? A soft tissue which is known as the pulp, which consists of connective tissue, blood vessels and nerves. Yes, connective tissue means there will be blood supply or nerve supply also. That means this pulp is responsible for the nourishment of tooth during growth. As we have studied that these teeth can be replaced many times, so yes, there will be growth of the tooth, and from where it will get nourishment? From this pulp only. Clear? Now second part of buccal cavity was subrostral fossae. So look at these three rounded structure, 1, 2 and 3. So these three shallow pits near the tip of upper jaw, yes, they are present near the tip of upper jaw, just within the maxillary teeth. So their position is within the maxillary teeth. And look at this, the middle one. We can see lateral one are smaller and median one is the larger. So median one is larger than the lateral one. What is their function? So these subrostral fossae keeps mouth firmly closed during respiration. Okay, so their sole purpose is to keep mouth firmly closed or keep mouth shut. Okay, Next portion is the internal nares. Look at this internal nares, these black dot, 1 2. There is a pair. A pair means there will be two. Okay, so a pair of small opening lying outside the bomberine teeth. Yes, they are outside the bomberine teeth. Internal nares 1 and 2nd. A pair. Their function is they help in the breathing. So in case of frog, internal nares are helpful in the breathing. Now coming to the next part, these are the bulging of eyeballs. Look at these two ball-like structure, big circular structures. These are bulging of eyeballs, and they are a single pair, like they will be two in number, and their function is they play a part in the swallowing. They push food like into the esophagus. So bulging of eyeball function in the swallowing of food. Coming to the next part, that is the tongue. So this is the tongue, and it is soft, fleshy and sticky. In case of human, we also have soft and fleshy tongue, but in case of frog, it is sticky. Okay, and where it is present, it lies on the floor of buccal cavity. As we can see, it is present on the floor of buccal cavity, and it is attached by its anterior end just inside the tip of lower jaw. Yes, there is lower jaw, and its anterior end is attached to the lower jaw. Here we can see, whereas this hind end of this tongue is free and bilobed. Look at this, there is bifurcation. So there it is bilobed, and it is free. It can show freely movement up and down, left, right. Okay, and this tongue can be projected out and be drawn into buccal cavity very quickly. So frog can take its tongue in and out very fast, and it help in the capture of prey, as it is sticky in nature, so it capture prey. Also there is taste buds present on the papilla of tongue. So taste buds are present on the tongue. Next structure is the prelingual elevation. Look at these three depressions on the tongue here. These depressions, these are known as the prelingual elevations. These are projections at the tip of lower jaw. So here is the tongue which is attached to the lower jaw, and these are the three elevations which are known as the prelingual elevation. Here we can see these two are lateral and this one is the median. So median is larger and lateral are the smaller. Their important function is to, as we have studied, that these three suprostral fossae was helpful in keeping the mouth closely formed. What happens during respiration, these elevations fit with these suprostral fossae, and they like form lock and key type junction. So they help in the closing of mouth during respiration. So next part is the pharynx, which we have studied, the posterior part of the buccal cavity. So on its floor, a median oval elevation bearing a longitudinal slit, the glottis. Look at this structure. So glottis is present on the floor of pharynx, which lead into the lungs. So this glottis now leads into the lungs. Plus there is a pair of wide comma-like aperture lie on the roof of pharynx near angle of jaws. Opening of eustachian tube lead into the middle ear. So look at these structure 1 and 2. So these are comma shaped structure. Look at this. These are what? These are opening of eustachian tube. Now these opening of eustachian tube lead into the middle ear, and what is their function? They keep the air pressure equal on both sides of the tympanic membrane. So this is the function of these opening of eustachian tube. Plus male frog has a pair of small circular opening on the floor of pharynx near the angle of mouth, which lead into the buccal sac. So look at these structures, two rounded structure, 1 and 2nd. These are the opening of buccal sac. So this is the buccal sac. As we have studied, in case of male frog, it is enlarged for croaking to attract female. So this is structure buccal sac, and this is the opening of buccal sac which is present in the male frog. Now posteriorly this pharynx narrows into esophagus. Now this pharynx is leading into the esophagus. Coming to the esophagus, esophagus is short but wide due to absence of neck. So as we have studied, frog body is divided into only head and trunk. There is no tail, no neck. Okay, So esophagus is short but wide. Here look at this, it is wide due to the absence of neck, plus mucous membrane lining the esophagus has longitudinal fold. So there is mucous membrane lining the esophagus which having longitudinal fold. What these fold do? These folds keep it closed to prevent entry of air but allow expansion during passage of food. So these folds help in the expansion during the passage of food to swallow food easily. Now this esophagus leads into the stomach without any outward indication. So next part will be the stomach. So in case of frog, stomach is broad. Yes, we can see here. So it is broad, thick wall. Its wall is thick, slightly curved tube occupying left side of the body cavity. Here we can see stomach. It is slightly curved and it is occupying left side of the body cavity. Now inner surface of this stomach is thrown into longitudinal fold which permit expansion of stomach. So there are, let me draw for you. So there will be some longitudinal folds like this, okay. So there will be longitudinal fold. What they are doing, they permit expansion of stomach, and plus these fold also increase area for excretion. Yes, there will be a digestion in stomach, so we need large area, and now these folds are providing us large area. Now stomach is divided into two parts, that is anterior part. Here we can see, so this will be anterior part and this will be posterior part. Okay, so anterior part of stomach is known as the cardiac part. So this portion is known as the cardiac part, and this posterior portion of stomach is known as the pyloric part. Okay, but as such there is no demarcation between these two parts, cardiac and pyloric. So just anterior part is known as the cardiac while posterior part is known as the pyloric part. Look at this structure here. So at the end of pyloric stomach there is a slight construction. Yes, we can see here, this is a constriction at the end of pyloric stomach which contains a valve, that is pyloric sphincter. Okay, so this is known as the pyloric sphincter. Now this here, this is a pyloric valve and which is known as the pyloric sphincter. Now this valve consists of a ring of muscle fiber and checks premature passage of food from stomach into small intestine. What it means? It means there will be digestion of stomach. So this sphincter or this valve will make sure that undigested food won't be allowed into intestine. So there will be first some digestion in the stomach part, then only there will be passage of food from stomach to intestine. So this is the function of this pyloric valve or sphincter. Now at the beginning of cardiac stomach, it is the anterior portion, there is also a similar valve which will be known as the cardiac sphincter, which controls the entry of food into stomach and prevents regurgitation. What its function? So here there will be also a valve at the anterior part, that means cardiac part. What it will make sure? It will make sure food won't go back into esophagus. So this is the function of cardiac sphincter. Pyloric sphincter function was to prevent premature food entry into the intestine. So this is the function of these valve. Now coming to the second part, that is known as the small intestine. So this whole part is the small intestine after the pyloric part of stomach. So this is small intestine. Here it is divided into two parts in case of a frog, and first part which follows stomach, here this is the end of stomach, pyloric part. Here we started the intestinal part. So this intestinal anterior part of intestine is known as the duodenum, which run forward parallel to the stomach. So here look at this, this is stomach, so intestine is running parallel to the stomach. So this is duodenum. Its internal surface bear many longitudinal folds similar to stomach. So there will be some longitudinal folds in case of duodenum, which also increase area of excretion and absorption. So till now we have cleared that yes, there is digestion going on in stomach, in intestine. So for digestion we need large surface area. So these folds only providing us a large surface area for the secretion and absorption also. And now a little beyond pyloric sphincter, here the duodenum receives hepatopancreatic duct from liver and pancreas. So look at this. So this is duct arising from the hepato word is related to liver, and pancreatic means pancreas. So this is the duct arising from the liver and pancreas. Now duodenum is receiving this duct here. Look at here, just beyond the pyloric sphincter. So there is opening of hepatopancreatic duct where in the duodenum. Now duodenum is passing into second part of small intestine, that is ileum. So this is the ileum. Okay, so posterior part of intestine is known as the ileum. Ileum is the longest part of alimentary canal. It can be objective type question also. In case of human also, ileum is the longest part. Difference to be noted here, that in case of human, small intestine is divided into three parts. Yes, we have third part also, jejunum. Okay, so which part is lacking in the frog? That is jejunum. Duodenum ileum is present in frog also, and ileum, similar to human, is also the longest part of alimentary canal, and it is much coiled. Look at this, how much coiling it is showing. So ileum is much coiling, and also its inner surface bear longitudinal folds. Yes, we know, because there is digestion going on, we need surface area, large surface area, so there will be folds present. Now this great length of ileum and longitudinal folds increase area of secretion and absorption. Now this ileum is lead abruptly into the rectum. So this portion is now rectum. Ileum is passing to the rectum. So second last part of alimentary canal is rectum. It is also known as the large intestine. In case of frog, it is short but wide. So intestine was narrow and long, but rectum is wide but short. Okay, so it runs straight back and open into the cloaca. Yes, we can see it is running straight forward and opening into the cloaca, and opening is called as the anus, and which is guarded by the anal sphincter. Last part of alimentary canal is cloaca. It is small chamber which serve as the common passage for digestive as well as urinogenital system. Here we can see urinary bladder is there. So cloaca is receiving two ducts, one from like rectum and another from the urinary bladder. So there will be common passage for both urine as well as fecal matter. Now this cloaca opens out by cloacal aperture, which is situated at the end of trunk behind the hind limb. So cloacal aperture is the common opening both for the fecal as well as urine. So this is all about alimentary canal of frog. Thank you so much.